Hey guys, Mike here, and in this video we're going to quickly talk about several large tablets. The iPad Air and its closest Android rivals, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 2014 edition, the Sony Xperia Tablet Z, the Asus Transformer Pad Tf701T, and the Google Nexus 10. Or in other words, we're going to quickly go through the top 10-inch tablets of the moment. The iPads have been the most popular tablets in this class for several years now, but the Air is, aesthetically, the first major update in a long while, as it's thinner, lighter and more compact than any of the iPads launched before. But at the same time, it keeps the 9.7-inch Retina display with a 4:3 aspect ratio, which makes this device ideal for browsing, reading or playing games. The Air is also very fast, thanks to the 64-bit Apple A7 processor inside it, but in everyday use it's not going to feel much snappier than the older iPad 4. I blame iOS 7 for that and its slow transitions. Regardless, this 5th generation iPad loads apps quickly, but multitasking is not as smooth as I was expecting given the only 1GB of RAM on the slate. The Air is however backed up by the entire iOS ecosystem of third-party apps, which consists, in my opinion, of more diverse and higher quality entries than what you're getting with Android. Long story short, iOS and iPads in general are simple and easy to use. However, if you like to tweak your slate or find cheaper applications, you might want to look at the Android options instead. The iPad also impresses with its 10+ hours of everyday use on a charge, 12+ of watching movies and between 6 to 8 of gaming. No Android slate can rival with that right now. All this for $499 for the 16GB Wi-Fi version and up. And no, there's no way to expand the storage space, and the 32GB option costs $100 extra. Moving on, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 2014 edition is, at least on paper, the most appealing large Android tablet of the moment. It offers fast hardware, a high-resolution 10.1-inch display, sleek looks and the S Pen with all its functions and abilities. So on a first look, the Note 10.1 2014 edition promises to be the one device that could digitize your life. It should be compact and light enough that you could easily carry it around. It should be fast enough to handle smoothly everything you might throw at it, and the pen should take care of your sketches, notes and drawings. In practice, the Note 10.1 won't always deliver though. The screen is gorgeous despite the pen-tile matrix, and everything is incredibly sharp on it thanks to the high-resolution panel. The body is still made from plastic, but in disguise. Just like the Note 3 smartphone, the backplate mimics leather with faux stitches and all the fuss. It's overall a step forward from the glossy back of the previous generation Note 10.1, but still pales next to the iPads in my opinion. But all these are details. What matters more is the overall experience provided by this slate, and the new Note tends to stutter more often than I was expecting, given the powerful hardware and the 3GB of RAM available. You could blame that on TouchWiz, Samsung's own skin on top of the Android OS, and you could switch TouchWiz for a different launcher and get a more reliable device. But that should not be the case on a top-tier tablet. As for the pen, well, it's accurate and fun to use, but I bet you're quickly going to forget about it and leave it docked in its place. I know I did on my older Note 10.1, because there simply aren't enough apps that could make you actually use the S Pen every day. Or maybe I just couldn't find them. What do you think? All in all, if you can get past the occasional performances issues, the Note 10.1 is a device to consider. It starts at $549 though, for the 16GB version, so it is more expensive than the iPad Air. Next we have the Nexus 10, a 2012 tablet that still provides solid value today. It sells for around $350 and up. It offers a Full HD 10.1-inch screen, it's decently fast and runs vanilla Android. It also offers a nice pair of front-facing speakers. Specs-wise, the Nexus 10 won't stand next to the Samsung Galaxy Note. It's not as powerful and it does not have as many features. It's not that great looking either, as its plastic case feels rather cheap. But this Nexus can handle all the basics well, from browsing to playing games and watching movies, and it's cheaper than all the other top-tier tablets of the moment. And let's not forget that this tablet is a year old, and can still rival with most of these 2013 heavyweights. Knowing that, my hopes for its update, which is just around the corner, are growing exponentially, but we'll see if the new Nexus is going to deliver or not. Moving on, Sony's Xperia Tablet Z is another option to consider if you're after a premium 10-inch tablet. This one is a very thin device, light and incredibly sleek. It's also waterproof, so you can safely use it at the pool or at the beach without worrying it might drown. Then, like the Nexus above, the Tablet Z won't impress with its specs, but it does pack a decently fast hardware platform, it does run a fairly clean version of Android, and can handle pretty much everything you might throw at it. As for the screen, well, the Z offers a 10.1-inch Full HD tri-luminous panel that can rival with what other slates in this class have to offer. Of course, the Sony slate is not without quirks. The short battery life, the awful speakers, and the occasional Wi-Fi problems are just some of them. Even so, the Tablet Z gets overall good scores and good reviews from those who already bought it. and with a starting price of around $449 for the 16GB Wi-Fi version, it's worth your attention these days. Last but not least in this video, we have the Asus Transformer Pad Tf701T, one of the very few Nvidia Tegra 4 powered slates of the moment. This one starts at $449 as well, and offers a sleek metallic body, a high-resolution IPS screen and plenty of ports, but also a matching docking station with a keyboard, trackpad, some extra ports and an extra battery. The dock will set you back another $150 or so the two go for roughly $600 together and even cheaper in some countries. In my opinion, the Asus Transformer Pad is the option for those who want more than just games and multimedia on their tablet, for those who need a keyboard and ports. At the same time, there are some aspects that could steer you away from this slate, like the poor battery life and some potential wireless issues, much like with the Sony tablet above. All this being said, when we draw the line, the iPad Air is still, for the regular user, the best large tablet of the moment. The average Joe wants a beautiful and sturdy device, easy to use and always ready to run the apps of her liking. But all this don't come cheap. If games and third-party apps don't matter that much to you, Android slates can be an option. And you should also look into them if you desire extra features that the iPad does not offer, like a pen for drawing and sketching, waterproofness and a fully functional keyboard dock. Besides this, most large Android tablets tend to be cheaper than the iPad, but if the price is what's really holding you back from grabbing an iPad Air, don't forget about the soon-to-be available second generation iPad mini, which is basically a miniaturized version of the Air, starting at $399. Anyway, we'll end this clip here. However, I'd love to know which one of these options do you think is the best large tablet of the moment, so go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be around to reply. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you later.